Welcome back to the Denver Sports Betting Show. I am your host, Taylor Sodeski. This segment is in partnership with Fan Day Nation, giving you the best insight to all things for the fans, your MLB, NFL, NCAA, you name it. We are building communities and bringing the fan showcase back to you guys. So with that being said, another segment, another special guest. We have Jack Carlough with me on set today. He is a writer, reporter for Sports Illustrated Colorado Buffaloes. You do football and basketball mostly.
Yep, mostly that. No baseball at CU.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's horrible. But with that being said, we have him here for a baseball segment. We're going to talk about the infamous, horrible Rockies. As a native himself and longtime Rockies fan, I would say. We're going to get all into that too right here. But first and foremost, let's get into our first sponsor of the day. We have our locally trusted, amazing sponsor, Gardner Roofing. Are you looking for a roofer that you can trust? Gardner Roofing is Colorado's expert roofing team, family-owned and proudly serving the community since 1998. At Gardner Roofing, they don't just build roofs, they build relationships with unmatched craftsmanship, honest pricing, and a team that treats you just like family. It's no wonder our customers are keeping coming back and bringing their friends with them. So if your roof needs some love or you just want to advance and some advice that you can trust, visit them at GardnerRoofs.com or give them a call today at 303-332-6224. Our family has your family covered. So last week we pretty much talked about NFL rookie mini camps and all that kind of good stuff, seeing Shador and Travis in the league, which we can go on and on about with Jack too as well. I'm sure you're doing plenty of articles on that, but we have to jump into the MLB and the infamous Rockies and why they are on a downward slope currently. So with that being said, Jack, just first and foremost, we want to ask you just your common thoughts about the Torpedo bat. It's a whole new design. A lot of the weight is towards like the handle of like the whole wooden structure. So what are the thoughts?
The bulk, I would say, is more near like the sweet spot of the bat. I wish we had one in here. That'd be cool. But
full demo.
It kind of got famous during the beginning of this season when the Yankees started using it. I think they hit like 9 home runs in a game or something crazy against like that. I think John Carlos Stanton was actually using it at the end of last season too. But yeah, it just made a ton of headlines just for how well players were swinging with it. Hasn't quite been as big of a story recently just because, just other stuff going on. It was mostly the Yankees that got most of the attention with it. Personally, I'm a fan of it just because, baseball fans like home runs and offense. And I think for the most part, the Torpedo bat helps with that.
Pitching's gotten so much better, like I feel like in recent years too as well. So
yes, I think fans want to see more offense. I think the way Rob Manfred has been kind of running the MLB in recent years is, kind of help the offense a little bit just with, like bigger bases, have more stolen bases. And I think more offense in general is what fans want to see. And I think the Torpedo bat is great for that. With the Rockies, maybe 1 or 2 players have used it. It hasn't quite been, we haven't seen it as much here in Denver.
Seems like they should, maybe
They
something.
should.
But yeah.
I don't
definitely
know. We got to have better at-bats first. It doesn't matter if you don't swing at a fastball down the middle of that.
Definitely. So with that out of the way, I like to ask people like if they're hit or miss on it. But why are the Rockies in the spot that they are right now with being pretty much the worst differential team ever in modern history of the MLB? So walk us through like what your take is on that.
Yeah, I think as you're saying, I think it's negative 153 runs. That's the run differential. I think they've allowed like twice as many runs as they've scored. They're at about that. The downfall of the Rockies, I trace it back to trading DJ LeMahieu, honestly. I think that was after the 2018 season. I think like starting there, because they had such a good core in 2017 and 18, back-to-back playoff appearances there. Traded him, and then Arenado went, I think 2 off seasons later, got rid of Story as well. I think just trading away kind of those core 3 guys hurt a lot because the Rockies, pitching-wise, obviously they've notoriously struggled at pitching throughout their entire existence, pretty much. If they're going to be decent, you got to score a ton of runs, especially at Coors Field. But this year, the starting pitching has just really been rough. I think coming into the year, there was optimism that Kyle Freeland, Antonio Senzatella, and German Marquez. Those were kind of like the three kind of leaders of that pitching staff in 2017-18. Kind of those 2 good years there. Like Senzatella and Marquez are coming back from injuries, but all three of them have just really struggled this year, which has been tough to watch. And yeah, I mean, when you can't pitch, you're not going to win a lot of games, and they can't hit or field either. That's not a good combination.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of things going on. But you mentioned the pitching too as well, and like Antonio sends. Oh my God, his name is hard to pronounce. But with that being said too, I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but in the past, the Rockies used to have a 4-man pitch rotation back in the day.
They went with that for a little bit, maybe. I think like being a 2020 season. I think that COVID shortened season, I think they went 4 men. Bud Black did that. Now I think they're back up to 5. They have experimented with that a little bit. Personally, I like the 5 better. I think that's just, in terms of giving pitchers more rest, I think that helps a lot. But at the same time, I mean, it doesn't matter much if your pitcher's only going like 3-4 innings an outing.
Exactly.
That hurts a lot. And the bullpen has just been so taxed. They haven't been horrible. That bullpen's honestly kind of a bright spot of this team. Like Jake Bird, he's been pretty solid. I think he might be their all-star. Pretty good relief pitcher. But yeah, I think overall, got to get guys out.
Need some work there. But you just said getting guys out. Talking about the front office too as well with Bud Black being fired. People kept saying that his firing didn't do much of a change. It made a whole lot of change to the front office, and it's going to like prolong the Rockies to get better and better. What are your takes on him leaving, and like were you expecting him to be fired this season randomly, or what is that to you, would you say?
I was expecting it. It was kind of weird timing because they lost to the Padres 21-0.
Because it was him and a bullpen coach, correct? I'm pretty sure.
The hitting coach. Yes.
One of them had to go.
Yeah, the hitting coach was fired like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before maybe. And then Clint Hurdle, an old Rockies manager who took him to the World Series back in 2007. He's back on the staff. He started as a hitting coach. I think he's now the bench coach. I think they kind of promoted him. Jordan Pacheco, another former Rocky, he is now kind of like their main hitting coach. And Warren Schaefer is the interim manager right now. But going back to Bud Black, firing him, I don't think that did a lot. The problems are bigger than that. Just someone had to take a fall for that. Unfortunately, it was Bud. I mean, Bud's a great guy. Awesome with the media from everything I've seen. A pitching guy too. So that was kind of the hope when he came in that he would be able to help. The Rockies fix some of their pitching woes, which happened a little bit during the beginning of his tenure, but that hasn't been the case recently. It was time for him to go. I mean, if you're at like 8-40 now, someone had to take the fall, and unfortunately, it was Bud.
Yeah, poor Bud, for sure. But with that being said, where do they go from here? Like the season, they're projected to lose 134 games this year, and they're on their worst record. I think 13 games worse than the White Sox last season. And it's downhill as it is. But like, where would you start personally, like with rebuilding this team to get them on the right track? Is in the front office? Is like with player development, new talent? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, Dick Monfort sells the team, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Or Bill Schmidt, he's the general manager. I think he's been the GM for like 4 years now, maybe. He has not been very impressive, obviously. Getting rid of him would be, a good start. I think someone higher than Bud Black's got to take a fall as well for this. But at the same time, the Rockies are very, like when they make new hires, they frequently like promote from within. So I think you got to find someone outside of the Rockies. If you are going to fire Bill Schmidt, finding someone outside the Rockies who's had success somewhere else to have a new perspective on this whole thing, I think that would help a lot. In the short term with this season, obviously they're not playing for anything at this point. I mean, they're 8-40 as this is being recorded. Worst start in the modern era, I think since 1901. Baseball now compared to what it was in like 1900, it's like not even the same game. So it's like, it's weird to like even compare the two there. Ideally, the Rockies have also been bad at this. A good move would be to trade any players that have any sort of value, which is not a lot. Mm-hmm. It would have been, I mean, Ryan McMahon was an all-star last year. He had some value there for a second. Trading him at the all-star break, or not the all-star break, but before the trade deadline in July, maybe you could have gotten something there. Mm-hmm. They traded Elias Diaz, didn't get much back there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just got to start with developing young prospects through the draft, because the Rockies are never going to get anyone good and any good pitchers in free agency, just because no one wants to pitch at Coors Field. So they have to develop guys. Chase Dollander, he's a rookie this year. I think he's promising. Mm-hmm. He's had a couple rough starts, but I mean, he's only had like 10 games. I think he's a guy that they can build around, at least in the pitching staff.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So yeah, pitching a big issue for the Rockies going on right now. Let's take a quick break real quick. Jack, yourself a very fashionable guy, as I'm sure you know. With that being said too as well, I feel like accessories make the outfit. And one of my favorite accessories ever is jewelry. So with that being said, we have Nico Stones, our next amazing sponsor that we have to shout out right now. Are you looking to elevate your everyday style? Nico Stones designs timeless, versatile jewelry that stands out whether you are dressing it up or keeping it casual. From bold rings to leather bracelets, there's something for every single vibe. Go ahead and tap the link in the description to explore the whole collection. There is great pieces for everyone and anyone, no matter what your choice will be. So feel free to check it out, Jack. Some great stuff there too as well. Great stuff always on the website too. But with that being said, the Rockies and where they are right now, what is it going to do to have a great performance from them and kind of like not emulate, but just take examples from popular franchises like the Dodgers and stuff like that? Like, what can they do to...
Yeah. I mean, with the Dodgers, there's no way, just money-wise, they're in a whole nother league.
In a smaller scope, I guess you could say, too, as well.
The Rockies are more like middle market. Denver's kind of a middle-ish market. And they rarely spend a lot of money on free agents. Mm-hmm. And when they do, a lot of times they haven't worked out, like Chris Bryant.
Mm-hmm. He signed a contract for $182 million.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I think that was after the 2021 season. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, he's been hurt every year. He's out right now. He's been out for like a month or so. That's been tough. I mean, you just have to hit on guys like that. If you're going to have any chance of turning this around. But yeah, I mean, the Rockies, I think player development is kind of their bread and butter if they are going to turn this around. Mm-hmm. You know, just hiring better developmental coaches in the minor leagues. I think that'll be key because you're not, at least pitching wise, you're not going to get a lot of success in the free agent market.
Exactly. And then growing up too as like a longstanding Rockies fan and just like seeing them kind of like manipulate and transfer like their game too as well. Have you seen them like have like chances of hope in some senses? Like you mentioned like the 2017-2018 season, but like was there any players who are just like, oh, this player can change the franchise? Like thinking back to like Todd Helton, Carlos Gonzalez, all those kind of like big time players. Like do you have like an emulation of yourself, would you say?
Ooh, I'm honestly, this might be kind of a smaller name. I love Ian Stewart.
Really?
Yeah. He was a third baseman here. He didn't have a great career, unfortunately.
Not a hard name at all, yeah.
That was just the first name that came to my head. I'm going to give Ian Stewart a shout out there. Yeah, it didn't work.
Shout out Ian Stewart.
Also like Ubaldo Jimenez. And really, like, I mean, that 2007 run of the World Series, that's really what sparked, obviously, my passion for sports. And I think a lot of other people our age in the Front Range, I think that really sparked something. And it's been, yeah, obviously disappointing to see just people around here, just their passion for baseball go down because it was so fun there for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And since then, I mean, you had a good couple of years there, 2017, 18, but there just hasn't been a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, it seems like the fans still kind of show up in a way. I know attendance is going down, but like fans are still packing out as like soon as they can. Probably the good food, the good scenery or something from Denver.
Bar,
but yeah,
rooftop
the bar, exactly. Yeah, half off drinks before tip, just so you know. But
yeah, a lot of away fans though. I think that's been like last night with the Phillies. Yeah, there was a lot of red at Coors Field, which is sad to see. Yeah. Really sad. You want to see more purple.
Yeah, especially with the Giant schedule. Taking on the Yankees coming up this weekend too, so a lot to look out for the Rockies on that chance too as well. But I'm wishing them the best more than anything in the world, as I'm sure you are too, Jack, as well.
Yes.
But thank you again for your time today, talking to the Rockies with me. Gotta expand the knowledge and wish the best for next season and for a closeout that is maybe more than 10 wins. So we'll see what happens. But thank you again. Thank you again for your time. And thank you for tuning in for Denver Sports Betting. Again, partnership and sponsor from Fan Day Nation. Go ahead and check them out, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.